Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm taking a look at the ThermoJoe. It's a heated coffee mug that supposedly keeps your drink warm without the need for a heating plate or an app to use. Is it worth the $100 price tag, and how does it compare to the Ember Mug, which I reviewed last year and it's kind of similar? Let's find out in today's video. Let's take a look back at the unboxing and see how that went. All right, let's take a look at the ThermoJoe temperature controlled desk mug. I paid $100 for this. And there it is. All right, there's just two parts to it, plus it looks like a charging cable. Interchangeable battery powered built-in heater, cordless fast heating portable mug. They say it's good for any warm or hot beverages. You can go anywhere. It's a 100% cordless and portable. You'll never have to worry about carrying around a heated coaster with you. USB-C charging port here. It has a splash-proof lid and convenient handle. This is supposed to be a very convenient handle here. It appears to have a silicone covering over the handle itself. They say there's an adjustable temperature control. All you have to do is apparently press this plus or minus button to adjust it up or down. No confusing apps, no heated coaster to carry around. All you have is two buttons that you take with you. They say it's supposedly very simple to use. I'm gonna read these over and get started. Now, after using this for a while, I've got a few more observations about the controls, and here they are. To turn the ThermoJoe on, you just press this for 3 seconds. And then it defaults to your previously used setting, which I was 3 on my last time. If you want to change the temperature, you tap this twice, and then you're going to have to just tap it one more time for each level you want, from 1 to 5. Checking the weight of these, the Ember Mug is just under 1 pound, 15.7 ounces. ThermoJoe, 14.9 ounces. All right, so for my next test, I've got 3 mugs here. I've got an Initech, just generic coffee mug, my Ember Mug, my ThermoJoe. These two have been fully charged. I'm gonna add some warm water in there and see how long it takes them to go up about 10 degrees and then see how long the battery lasts. I did the same thing with the Ember Mug last year, so I'll be curious to see if the battery's degraded much since then. So we get to kind of compare the Ember Mug then and now as well. So let's start pouring and see how they do. ThermoJoe 113, Ember Mug 113, Initech 113. The lowest I can go in the ThermoJoe is 128, so we're gonna do that. It's gonna have to go 15 degrees. All right, so we're saying the lowest setting. With the Ember Mug, I could just turn the app to 128. All right, so they got the app set to 128. And we'll just see where the Initech goes in this amount of time. So it should be interesting to see what happens. At the 12-minute mark, the Ember just notified me that it hit 128 degrees. So let's measure it and see how accurate that is. They're showing 128. Let's see. I'm showing 125. I'm showing a little bit different reading than the Ember. ThermoJoe between 123 and 124, so very close. I would say the Ember warmed a little bit faster, but it's pretty close. Keep in mind, I've used the Ember for a year now, so this is a year-old battery, so that's actually kind of saying a lot for the Ember Mug. Let's check the Initech control mug, where that one's at. That one's dropped all the way down to 105 degrees. So I think the ThermoJoe hung with the Ember Mug. I don't think the results of 1 degree is enough to consider it a clear winner. So rather than turn these off, I'm gonna hit the stopwatch and see how long it takes from here until they drain their batteries. Let's try it out. Hitting the stopwatch now. Let's come back later and see how it goes. Let's do a quick temperature test now the Ember Mug is just turned off. ThermoJoe 116, Ember Mug 125. After a total of 87 minutes, the battery just depleted, and the Ember Mug's keeping the temperature closer to the target than the ThermoJoe. The ThermoJoe's still going, but it looks like it's about to go out as well. It's only got 1 blinking dot left, so it's about to die as well. So both of these have a target temperature of 128 degrees. The Ember Mug kept it closer to that temperature than the ThermoJoe did, so even though the ThermoJoe might last a little bit longer, it didn't keep it as warm. Now let's see how much longer the ThermoJoe lasts. It's on the last indicator, so it can't be much longer. The first time I ever tested the Ember Mug, it was actually 80 minutes, but I kept it warmer that time, so the lower temperature actually made it last longer. Keep it in mind that's a year-old battery, so that's actually not too bad. So after a total of 107 minutes, the ThermoJoe started blinking really fast. It's been blinking for about 10 minutes now. The temperature's down to 106. I would say it stopped warming at the 107-minute mark. So it's 107 minutes, Ember Mug's 87. The Ember Mug's a year old, and it did keep it warmer than the ThermoJoe did, so I don't think it's a victory for ThermoJoe. The ThermoJoe never really kept it at its target temperature. It was always colder, so to me, the Ember Mug was more consistent. All right, so the Ember Mug has been off for over 20 minutes. The ThermoJoe has been off for over 10 minutes. Let's check the temperature of these. They're the same temperature. The only reason that's possible is because the Ember Mug was so much warmer when it turned off. I don't think the ThermoJoe won this one. I don't think it won at all. So there was something kind of curious about that test when I watched the footage back, and that is that the ThermoJoe started at 113, it went up to 125, which is close to its target of 128. But over time it went down to 115 and then maintained that temperature. I don't know if that's a glitch or if that's some sort of a power saver mode, but in the end, the Ember Mug maintained a constant temperature all the way through its battery life. The ThermoJoe did not. I'm gonna pour some hot water in there, let it sit for an hour and see at the warmest level what the ThermoJoe can do. Let's try it out. Turning the ThermoJoe on. Now it's saying that it's too warm, that's what that red means. Let's see what we got here. 152, so it's just over the target temperature. So the ThermoJoe is going to wait for it to cool down a few degrees, and then it should hopefully maintain the temperature of 147 degrees. We shall see. All right, it's been exactly 1 hour. Let's see what the temperature of the ThermoJoe is. They say the maximum temperature it can maintain is 147. Let's see if it's close. It looks like it's about 130 degrees. Not quite 147. So it looks like their temperatures are just off. The bottom was supposed to be 128, it was 115. The top was supposed to be 147, it's 130. Just not that accurate. Let's see what kind of a temperature we got on this thing here. As you can see, the cup does not get terribly warm, so that's a good thing. So at this point, I think it's time for a real world test of the ThermoJoe using coffee. Similar to what I did with the Ember Mug last year, I'm gonna wake up in the morning, pour a cup of coffee, go through my morning routine, and see how it holds up. So we'll see you tomorrow morning for the real world ThermoJoe test. Good morning once again. It seems like it was only last year I was out here with a heated cup of coffee going through my busy morning routine. So what I'm gonna do right now is take my first sip, put this down, take care of some serious business. But I was thinking last night, and so what if the battery's range is not as high as we hoped, or maybe it's not as accurate? Does it keep a cup of coffee warm throughout the morning? That is the question. I'm gonna find out today. I also have a cup of my Initech mug from the same batch, poured at the same time. So I got some business to do, and then we're gonna talk more about the ThermoJoe. I've been very busy this morning, so I haven't had a chance to drink too much of this. I only maybe 3/4 of it left. Let me try taking a quick sip from each one of these and see how warm they are. ThermoJoe, still pretty warm. Initech, lukewarm. Let's try the temperatures here. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it on camera, but ThermoJoe is about 125 degrees. Initech, 98. Not that warm. It's kind of one of those bad news, good news, bad news types of things. I would say the bad news is that it didn't really live up to the battery expectations. Not only is the temperature range not accurate, it seems like it's 115 to 132, not 128 to 147. On the other hand, does it do what it's supposed to do and keep your coffee warm in the morning? And it does do that, so that's the good news. I set this at level 3 this morning, it's about 125, not too bad really. One final measurement, there we go. ThermoJoe's a little bit warmer. Initech, a little bit colder. Not surprised. Now it's back to the bad news, and the ThermoJoe instructions say it's supposed to last 3 to 5 hours, but for me, on the lowest setting, I got under 2 hours. And even though it doesn't have a heating plate, you're still carrying around this big battery with you everywhere you go. The Ember Mug has a charging plate, but once it's charged up, you don't have to carry that around with you at all. On the other hand, these two weigh almost exactly the same. Another advantage of the Ember Mug is you can leave the charging plate going all the time while this stays hot all day. This one will not heat while it's charging. The Ember Mug was also more accurate, and honestly, they say that there's no confusing apps. I find the buttons on here more confusing than the app on the Ember Mug. I like some things about this. I like the fact that you can take the silicone handle cover off and customize it. I like that you don't have to have a heating plate, but I also don't like the fact that you're carrying this heavy battery around either. I don't know, for $100, I'd probably stick with the Ember Mug. I like the idea, but I'm not sure this particular version is ready for prime time yet. But since I have it, I'm gonna continue to use it. But if you've tried the ThermoJoe, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.